And it has a lot to do with the big trend. And to me, it's the big trend of what we call corporatism and crony capitalism that, if you're not careful, could lead to something called fascism. But you can't say that because then they'll think you're radical or something like that. But we have it, and unfortunately, we have an administration that is getting more neoconservative every day when it's in foreign policy. And we also have an economic policy which is not free markets as we were told it would be like. And the one thing that you can look for, whether you're dealing with gold or whatever, to have an idea which direction we're going, look at the deficit. What's happening to the deficit? Well, it's going up, 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 up. And yesterday, and the news item came out, and it's a shame, but it's not overly shocking that, oh yeah, we never dreamed this could happen. Here's the headline. Trump says he wants a $1.5 trillion military budget. You say, well, what was it last year? Well, maybe it was $2 trillion and he's reducing it. No, it just made the 1 million mark. And he's already talking about a 50% increase. And all we do, of course, with Daniel and I, we have spent a lot of time talking about our militarism around the world, which is characteristic of crony capitalism and having big budgets and military budgets. So that is all out there, and it doesn't look like it's changing. But we do want to spend some time today on emphasizing this because, it's pretty soon it's going to be a lot of money. But this is astounding. A $500 billion, $1.5 trillion. And we can't, and just the interest that we pay, people say, oh, that's the amount of money that they're going to spend. No, that's the money they're going to borrow. And it's going to be the punishment and the harm will be placed on the middle class because they won't have the money. Nobody's going to loan all of a sudden another $5 trillion at $1.5 trillion because the people they don't have the money and they're not going to do it. So the trillions, so what do? They have a trick. It's a trick, and it really blossomed out in 1971 when it was decided by Nixon, oh, don't have any restraints whatsoever on printing money because the people won't know. They'll blame something else and they'll just go march along. Hopefully, there's are signs now that people are waking up and they say, why are we spending so much money in Ukraine and we're starving people here in the United States? Well, I would like to see us say that same thing, but say, why don't we leave it in the pockets of the people? But what we do, we use a sinister tax, which is the inflation tax. We print the money, devalue the currency, so we double the purchasing numbers, but not the purchasing power. The purchasing power that goes down. It was a record last year in a 6-month period of the weakness of the dollar. But the best test of the dollar and what's going on is the person who does this grocery shopping. And they find out, boy, that bag got filled off awful fast. And yet, there's a reason for this. It's understandable. It could be stopped. But so far, if you have a budget like this that we have, you borrow the money, but then you have to pay the interest on the money. So it's on and on. And that's where the problem is. And people become addicted to it because right now, I would have to admit very strongly that President Trump is being well received for his program. There's now indications. Some people are saying, hey, is it enough, on all this spending and all these wars that we're getting into and what we're doing in the Middle East, Ukraine, Venezuela. Oh, yes, we have now under our control 300 million billion barrels of oil. So it's a terrible situation. And the majority of people are still saying, go, go, go. But Chris, I think there's an end point to this, and I think you make a few good